Nintendo has graced us with a $1,000 remaster, or remake if you want to call it a remake, because, but again, it's just the fact that Nintendo is finally acknowledging the older style of Paper Mario. Yes, I did enjoy playing the Origami King, but even then, I still knew something was missing from that game. The spark that made Paper Mario great. The original characters, original races, original everything. The game was unique. Okay, Origami King just felt like another Mario game. Yes, I like the story. I like the side characters as well, but something was missing. But what about considering that Nintendo is going out a spree of playing GameCube remastering such remaking GameCube games? Very recently, we got Pikmin 1 and 2 for the Switch. Very recently, we got Metroid Prime for the Switch. Two games that, I think Nintendo is trying to put on a lot of their GameCube games on the Switch to try to preserve these games, okay? Because the Switch is selling really, really well, and Nintendo's like, you know what? Maybe let's put the GameCube games on the Switch. I can't really count Mario Sunshine because that was part of the Mario 3D collection, which they only had out for a year. But giving the people chance to play GameCube games like the Switch, first it was the Wii U, okay, it was because it was the Wii U was Nintendo's biggest failure. They said, well, let's just put a bunch of Wii U games on the Switch. No one will care, okay? Let's give the Wii U games a second chance. But Nintendo has never considered giving the GameCube games a second chance besides, Wind Waker HD or something like that, okay? But there's a lot of GameCube games I think Nintendo should give the second chance. I think the first one is Kirby Air Ride. So if you never heard of Kirby Air Ride, it's a Kirby racing game for the GameCube that was released. I don't know when the game actually came out, but Kirby Air Ride for the GameCube released around 2004 in Korea and Australia, and 2003 in North America and Japan, and 2004 in Europe. So the game sold 1.2 million copies despite the critical, mixed reception from critics. But the game basically became a very successful game despite this, and despite this, Kirby Air Ride never got any sort of sequel or remake or remaster. I think that Nintendo really should give Kirby Air Ride a second chance. I know they want to focus on Mario Kart, but come on, okay? You have the entire F-Zero series, which Nintendo only until very recently started to acknowledge its existence, and Kirby Air Ride is another one as well. Like, people always talk about F-Zero. Please bring back F-Zero, okay? But I never played F-Zero before, so I can't tell you about that one. But Nintendo should definitely give Kirby Air Ride a second chance. Obviously, okay? I think it would sell pretty well on the Switch or the Switch 2, okay? As well, it would be, something else as well. Well, and also I think that the game, if it was just a simple remaster, maybe just put on the eShop and of course give a physical option for it. Simple to Metroid Prime and make the game cheaper, obviously, because Kirby Air doesn't have a lot of content for a $60 game, okay? Or if Nintendo's gonna use a new industry standard, $30. Definitely not $30 for Kirby Air Ride. I don't think anyone would want to pay $30 for Kirby Air Ride, okay? But Kirby Air Ride should definitely get a second chance for Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2, okay? I remember liked playing this game. Most of my gameplay was spent playing the city trial, okay? And I think maybe they, there's that, maybe they have like a whole thing based off the city trial, like a whole game. I don't know why Nintendo has never done this, because the big thing about Kirby Air Ride was playing city trial. It was such a fun and unique thing that Nintendo has never tried again. Considering the fact that Battle Royale games have become more and more popular as time went on, especially with Fortnite, maybe a Battle Royale Kirby Air Ride game taking place in City Trial, similar to Fortnite, would work pretty well as well. And also, if Kirby Air Ride gets a remake, I think the game should have more characters than just Kirby, King Dedede, and Meta Knight. Add in, Banana Wild D, obviously. I think that's an obvious character to add. Add in, Mox, Magor, and other Kirby characters as well. Well, not just King Dedede, Meta Knight, and Kirby, obviously. Adding characters from other Kirby games as well, including characters that were villains but became Kirby's friends or allies later on, like in Kirby style allies, and definitely giving a lot of the lesser known Kirby characters a chance for more people to know who they are. Most people think of Kirby, they think of King Dedede, Meta Knight, that's why Banana Wild is one of the most requested Smash Bros. Characters, is because not many people know about other Kirby characters, because most of them only appeared in a couple games, so not many people are exposed to those characters as much as the main 4 Kirby characters as well. Okay. I think adding more characters would definitely help Kirby Allied, 2 or Kirby Allied remake will definitely help the game. Adding like 10 new characters will definitely help the game. And definitely help more Kirby characters become more notable throughout the series. And not just, that's, this is only, 4 major Kirby characters, okay? Considering that Kirby has a vast array of characters, it is kind of like people sleep on the other Kirby characters, okay? People sleep on the other Kirby characters and don't think, oh yeah, we're not gonna put all the other Kirby characters, okay? Even like Kirby Fighters, you don't really get many other Kirby characters to get all of Kirby's, as well. And I think it has to do another video about that, how Nintendo should use the underutilized Kirby characters, other characters from Kirby, because most people don't really know a lot of Kirby characters. Like if you're not really a deeper fan or fan of the other characters because you don't know them. Okay, for example, Kirby Fighters 2 only has 6 total characters, excluding all Kirby's copy abilities. Okay, Kirby, Banana Wild D, King Dedede, and Meta Knight was the characters be expected, but the only other 2 characters are Gooey and Magor. I think Kirby Allied, if it is a remake, should have more characters than just those 3 characters. I think adding more characters from more recent Kirby games should be added. Okay, I think this would definitely be a case as well. Okay, especially considering that it's not like with Kirby Fighters where they want to add in a bunch of copy abilities, obviously, as well. If they want to add a bunch of copy abilities like a Kirby fighting game, then yeah, add in a bunch of copy abilities. But in a racing game, I think there should be more characters, more of the underutilized Kirby characters. And maybe people will get exposed to these characters and love them as much as the main 4 characters. For example, Magor is one of the more popular Kirby characters because they keep including them in more Kirby media, including Kirby Star Allies and Kirby Fighters 2. They also include Gooey in Kirby Fighters 2 as well as a playable character as well. So I think definitely adding more Kirby characters into these newer games will definitely help with more exposure so people know who other Kirby characters are. Also adding new stages for Kirby, Ally 2. And also add stages that are references to Kirby games as well. Similar to how they do in Mario Kart as well. You'll have like a green stage, you'll have a water stage, or butter building, references to all Kirby games. Okay. Considering that, Kirby, Fighters 2 has a lot of, Kirby related areas as stages. I think this would definitely make a lot of sense. Okay. And also add in, maybe other options for city trial. Okay, not, you can have the original city return, but maybe have one where it takes place in King Dedede's castle. Okay, that would be very interesting to see that. Okay, have an area that takes place on Battleship Halberd as well. Having more air place where you can actually fall down, and if you fall down off the map, you lose stuff as well. You also have unique boss battles in every area. In King Dedede's castle, you have to fight the various monsters that King Dedede summons, like in the Kirby anime. It'll be a cool little nod to the Kirby anime as well. And also on Meta Knight's ship, you have to deal with the various things that Halberd throws at you, but you also have to deal with the Heavy Lobster as well. Similar to how Dynablade randomly appears, the Heavy Lobster will randomly appear on the, Halberd stage, and you have to sometimes fight it as well. If you defeat the, Heavy Lobster, it's a with copy abilities. I think copy abilities would be in the trial as well, so he can fight, so he can have bosses, and if you defeat the bosses, they'll get awards. It'll be very, very similar to what they did with Super Smash Bros. 3DS as well. Well, and also I think something similar. There will also be a more casual mode where you just collect stuff, but also one where you just fight enemies, collect stuff from them as well. They can have bosses that appear as well. Very similar to the 3DS, mode. It was one of my favorite parts of the 3DS Smash Bros. Mode where you get to fight up all these enemies, all these references from, and all the enemies can be all from various Kirby games as well. You also have mini bosses appearing as well. Well, and of course, full-on bosses sometimes will appear as well, and also the other hazards will return as well, and new ones will be in there as well. Well, so yeah, I think definitely there'll be a lot of things Nintendo could definitely put in to Kirby Allied. But I think if Nintendo acknowledges Kirby Allied, maybe we'll finally see start to see spin-offs for other Nintendo IPs that are not just Mario all the time. Kirby always still gets a decent chunk of spin-offs as well. Well, considering we have stuff like Kirby Fighters 2, Kirby Dream Buffet as well. But I think Kirby gain more spin-off games definitely will do better. And of course, Kirby Fighters 2 is really just a sequel to Kirby Fighter Deluxe, which is basically a, you know, Kirby Triple Deluxe game mode. But yeah, considering that this is one of the lesser requested things to happen, I think something like Kid Icarus Uprising remaster is more likely than this at this point, considering how beloved Kid Icarus Uprising is, and how many fans want that game to get a second chance on the Switch, considering the fact that Kid Icarus Uprising was another game that got a bad hand. I think another game that should definitely get a second chance is Chibi Robo, the original one that was on the GameCube. Nintendo should definitely give that game a second chance. Considering they gave Pikmin so many chances, and Pikmin now is succeeding as an IP, selling really well in Japan and stuff, I think CB Robo as an IP should definitely be given a second chance as well, and I think I could do a video about that one as well. Considering that Nintendo basically screwed that IP over, the only good CB Robo game that was the first one. Okay, that was the only good game in the series. Okay, because the Park Ranger game was such a deviation from the first game that it was not even that great. And then you had Zip Blast, which was complete garbage. Okay, Nintendo just threw away that entire series. Speaking of TB Robo, Nintendo should definitely give that IP a second chance and give it a actual advertising push, because I think TB Robo as an IP could definitely sell pretty well. I think remastering and putting out the first game would be a step in the right direction for that IP. So I think Nintendo is at least starting to listen to the fans and realizing that a lot of the choices they have been making, throughout the Wii U, 3DS era, and even the Switch era are not very good decisions as well. We have a list of best-selling Switch games, and some of these games Nintendo actually listened to the fans about feedback for many of these previous entries in the series as well, but also improving on them. I'm not gonna talk about Pokemon because that's really Game Freak's fault, not Nintendo's fault. You can't really fault Nintendo, but Nintendo really returning back to the original Mario Party. I think that's what really Nintendo maybe we should actually start listening to our fans more. Okay, Super Mario Party and to a less extent Mario Party Superstars down here they have not updated the sales for, but the game sold 10 million copies. Mario Party Super Mario Party sold 19.49 million copies, and it'll probably end up selling 20 million copies as a lifetime sales goal for that game as well. But Nintendo definitely listening to the fans in terms of Mario Party, and Super Smash Bros. As well. Nintendo adding very highly requested characters into Super Smash Bros. They didn't have to. They could just put a bunch of Pokemon or Fire Emblem characters in the game. Nintendo said, okay, let's give the fans characters they want, like Steve and Sora, King K. Rool, character people have been asking for a long time, Ridley, okay, fans have been asking for the longest of time for Mario vs. Donkey Kong to return back to the roots of the first game, which for the longest time people thought would never happen because, you just have the mini games, so let's continue making the mini games as well. And we have the biggest one, of Paper Mario game, a full-on remake on the Switch, And also, Nintendo adding fan favorite characters to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. Because you gotta realize that the Mario Kart 8 roster was when Nintendo was saying, okay, well, screw the fans, let's play characters like Pink Gold Pete or Baby Rose Arena, okay? You know, as well. I wonder if more highly requested things will come in the future of Nintendo games. You know, Mario Tennis and Mario Sports games are turning back to what they used to be, actually good games. Okay, like yes, you can have fun playing Mario Golf Superstars, but it doesn't have the feel of the GameCube games. Okay, like they don't have unique animations for all of the characters losing in the game. Okay, I think Nintendo is finally starting to realize that they games be more unique and not just tone deaf games. Like, and it's really showing by the sales. Like, people want more unique games by Nintendo. Okay, people love characters like Funky Kong. People want King K. Rool back as the main villain of Donkey Kong and not just new villains all the time. Like, yes, people like some people like the new villains, but a lot of people who played the original Donkey Kong Country games say, yeah, it's very dumb that Nintendo won't put King K. Rool in a new Donkey Kong game. It's kind of like, if Nintendo started to make Mario games and they made a whole new villain each Mario game instead of Bowser, even though Bowser is practically the main villain of the Mario series. It's kind of like doing that, okay? And I think, doing stuff, even like an emulated Metroid game. I think a lot of people would want to see an emulated Metroid game because Metroid is a more mature Nintendo IP. I know that Metroid doesn't have to be emulated. All you were gonna do is add gore, but have like a very actually have a storyline and characters where the game has to be emulated. Okay, and Nintendo won't have to say, "Oh, it's just T-rated." Okay, considering that other games go up and beyond to make their games emulated, like Halo. Okay, and Metroid is a similar type of game to Halo. Okay, as well. Like again, Metroid doesn't have to be emulated. Like Samus, the games don't need to be emulated. Weird. The only way they can make the game emulated if they show like Samus's boobs or something, or they have excessive gore and violence in the game, which I don't think Nintendo's gonna want to do. So yeah, I think that Metroid's gonna say a T-rated game, but as well. But even then, Nintendo has series like Bayonetta. Well, yeah, series like Bayonetta. Yeah, I know Bayonetta is a Sega franchise, so really Sega has creative control over Bayonetta. But even then, that IP is an emulated series. Another series that can definitely benefit from an emulated game is Fire Emblem as well. But again, I don't think a game's rating really matters at all. But yeah, but I think Nintendo should definitely listen to the fans. And I think Nintendo should definitely make a remake of Kirby Air Ride. Definitely remake Kirby Air Ride. I think it's definitely a thing as well. Nintendo should remake Kirby Air Ride as well. I think that would be a very special thing if Nintendo does remake Kirby Air Ride because Nintendo loves making Kirby spin-offs, but but easily the best Kirby spin-off is ignored. But don't worry, get a bunch of like Kirby fighting games that nobody really plays. But yeah, that's it about this video. Goodbye.